May I get a reply? Are you all there? Okay, Chiran is from Gampaha. And what about Rovinu? And okay. And you're from Joseph's College. Good. And Rovinu is from Panadura. Okay. Have you all done the past papers for science? Chiran and Rovinu? Have you all done past papers? Yeah. Have you tried doing past papers for science? You can unmute and talk.
Yes,
What
we
are the
tried, but
Yeah,
we tried, but not that one.
What are the papers you tried? You can say the years. What are the past paper years you tried?
2019, then 2022, after that 2021.
Okay, good.
That's all.
Okay. So which part seems for you difficult? Like, is it chemistry, physics, or like MCQs, or biology? Which part is difficult for you? Rovino, what about you? What are the past papers you tried? Did you try any past paper? Okay, so now I'm going to start the session. Okay, so today for the first 1 hour, we'll be doing the 20 MCQs, and the next 2 hours, maybe like 1.5 an hour, I can do the 5 past paper for structured question. And I'll be giving the theory points also. So you can prepare for the first structured question like thoroughly. Okay, can you all see the screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so now we're going to start the 2020 MCQ from 1 to 20. Okay, you can have the paper with you and have a note. You can write the extra theory points related to each MCQs, okay? Okay, we'll start. Question number 1. The fundamental structural and functional unit of life is. Chiran, what is the answer? This is an easy question. Can you say the answer for the first MCQ? What is the structural and functional unit of life?
Is that cell?
Yeah, it's correct. So, so cell forms tissue. Go that side. Camera. Cell, tissue. Wait. System, sorry, I'm sorry. Cell, tissue, organ, system. So this is how the human body is made. So the structural and the functional unit is cell. Okay. So the answer is answer number 1, cell. That's correct. Okay. What is the pair of subatomic particles which attract each other? So you know what are the subatomic particles? So there are 3 subatomic particles. So this is the atom. So you have the nucleus inside. So what are the particles you have inside the nucleus? Protons and neutrons. And around the nucleus, you have the electrons revolving. So now you should know the charge of each subatomic particles. Okay. So proton, you have positively charged, and neutron, does it have a charge or not?
Neutral.
Yeah, neutron. Correct. So it's no charge. So what is the charge of electron?
Negative.
Yeah, correct. Negative. So these are the charges of the subatomic particles. So now they are asking which particles attract each other. So you should know always opposite attracts. Opposite charges attracts. The same charges repel. So plus and minus are opposite. So what will be the answer?
Second one.
Yeah, second one, electrons and protons. So where the first answer is wrong because electrons are negative, neutrons are no charge. So wrong. Here, electrons are negative, protons are positive. So opposite attracts. Then protons plus neutrons, 0. So they won't attract. When you say electrons and electrons, negative, negative, what happened to electrons and electrons come closer to each other? They will repel. Okay. So when opposite charges come closer to each other, they will get attracted. When same charges get closer to each other, they will get repelled. Okay. So when electrons and protons come to closer, they will get attracted. And electrons repelling, protons repelling. Okay. So that's the thing you should know. So next we'll go for the third question. Okay, so the unit of momentum. So can you say someone joined to the class, right? Hiruka has joined. Good evening, Hiruka. Now we are doing 2020 MCQs. You can get the paper and go through the discussion. And you can write the important theory points. Okay, now we are in the third question, okay? So they are asking the unit of momentum. So momentum is P is equal to mass into velocity. Okay, so this is the equation you need to know for the momentum. So now you know the mass is calculated in kilograms and velocity is calculated in ms minus 1. So the momentum, the unit is kg ms minus 1. So this is how you find the unit for momentum. So what's the answer? What is the answer for the third one? kg ms minus 1. That is first. Okay, I'll give time for fourth one. Someone should say the answer. I'll read the question. Someone should say the answer. The figures A, B, C below indicate 3 types of muscle tissues. A, B, C respectively are. Anyone can say the answer for the fourth one. If you
Third
know.
one.
Third one. Okay, let's see whether it's correct. So Chiran is saying third one. So you have third one. So you know smooth muscle. So how do you identify A is smooth muscle? Because A smooth muscles have this shape is spindle shape. So we say the shape of the smooth muscle is spindle shape and they have a central nucleus. So this is how you identify a smooth muscle easily. Okay, they have spindle shape. So and have a central nucleus. So next, third option, B is skeletal muscles. Yeah. So B, when you see how you identify skeletal muscle, is that is long. Yeah, it is long and cylindrical shape. Okay, so cylindrical shape, and also you have striations. So can you see cross bands like structures? So that is called striations. When you see the smooth muscle, there will be no striations. Okay. Here you have the cross bands B, so that is skeletal muscle. And also another point you should see when there is skeletal muscle, you have multinucleus. Can you see? Have multinucleus. Many nucleus are present at the periphery of the tissue cell. Okay, so these are the characteristics, structural characteristics when you're identifying a skeletal muscle cell. And also next is cardiac muscle. So when you see cardiac muscle, so the best easy way to identify at once is they have branched. So when you see these other two, smooth muscle and the skeletal muscle, they are not branched. But when you see the cardiac muscle, that is branched. Okay, and also they have a central nucleus, and also here they have striations present. Okay, so now you can put a chart like dividing smooth muscles and skeletal muscles, cardiac muscles. So Sharon, your answer is correct. That the answer is third. So we'll put a chart to identify the structural characteristics of smooth muscles, smooth muscles, skeletal muscles. Give me a second. Okay, sorry. We can start. So smooth muscle, skeletal muscle, and cardiac muscle. So now we are going to see only the structural differences. So when you see the smooth muscle, what is the shape? Spindle shape, okay? And when you see the skeletal muscle, what is the shape? The spindle shape means it will be like this. And when you see the skeletal muscle, it is long, it will be long and cylindrical. So it will be like this. Cylindrical means like this. And you will see the cardiac, it will be, the main feature is branched. Okay, so it's branched. And then they have a central nucleus. Here they have multinucleate. That means many nucleus present. Okay, many nuclei. Nuclear. Nuclear. And here also central nucleus. So nucleus is located at central of the cell. That means central nucleus. Okay. Yeah. So and then here the feature is striations present. Striations mean what? Like cross stripes, like stripes, like stripes. Here striations present. You can see striations. And here this is the only tissue type that is branched. When you see these, they are unbranched. Okay, that you should remember. That is how you differentiate. These are unbranched. So I'll mark the key characteristics to identify each. So smooth muscles, the key characteristic is the spindle shape. Okay, and for skeletal, it is long cylindrical, and you can say it has many nucleus. And for cardiac, it is main key identification is branched. Okay, so this is how you identify the three different type of tissues. Okay, I hope you got a clear explanation for that. Now we go for the fifth question. fifth question is, which of the following is the molecule with highest number of covalent bonds? So now they're asking which has the highest number of covalent bonds. For that, what we're going to do is, first we should draw all the Lewis structure for these given 4 molecules. Okay, now we'll draw and find out which has the highest covalent bond. Okay, first is oxygen. So how you draw oxygen? Have oxygen, put double bond, and this is the structure of oxygen. Okay. So next, what is the second? Nitrogen. So here oxygen, it has how many bonds? 2 bonds. Then they are telling the second option is nitrogen. So nitrogen, how many bonds are present? Can anyone say? Chiran, how many bonds are present in nitrogen? Okay, Chiran should leave from the class after 4 p.m. because, okay. It's okay, Chiran. You can watch we can finish the MCQs before 4. Don't worry, okay? So, okay, can you answer for my question? How many bonds present in nitrogen? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, how many bonds present? It's 3, okay? So this is the Lewis structure. And then they have given the third option, NH3. Okay, we'll go quickly. Why is it delayed? NH3. So how many bonds present here? 1, 2, 3. So 3. Then the fourth option is carbon dioxide. So how you draw carbon dioxide? Carbon and 2 bonds. Okay. 2 bonds each side. So how many bonds present here? 4. So here 2, here 3, here 3, here 4. So which has the highest number of bond here? That is carbon dioxide. Okay. Okay. So the answer is answer number 4. Got it? Do you have any doubts in this question? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. So next the question is, so this is done, this is done, this is done, this is done. Okay, next the question number is 6. So heat is transmitted from sun to earth by, can anyone answer this? Chiran? Do you know the answer for this? You can guess it. Fourth one. Okay. Before that, okay, your answer is fourth one. Before that, I'll explain the theory behind that MCQ. Okay. So you should know that there are 3 ways of conducting heat transfer. Okay. One is conduction. The other one is convection. Okay. And the third one is radiation. Okay. So now we're going to see the differences. When you see the conduction and convection, they need a medium. Okay. These both need a medium to transfer heat. Okay. Need medium. But when you say radiation, they does not need a medium. Okay. Does not need medium. Okay. For each MCQs, you can write these explanations. So this is for first one, and like this is for second. So when you're answering the MCQs, you should write a note like why the answer is correct, why the answer is wrong, okay? And you should revise the theory for each MCQ point. So now you take a paper and put the heading 2020 MCQ and put 1 and write the question number 1. So 1, what is the answer? Cell. So put 1 and write what is the reason. So you can write this as a simple point. So you can remember, this is how you recall, okay? The cell. And here for second question, you can put momentum. You can write like these 3, and you can say opposite charges attract and same charges repel. So for each MCQs, you're going to write a small theory point why that answer is correct. Okay, so that's how you study for MCQs. That's how you practice MCQs. Okay. Okay. So now I was teaching you the 3 heat transfer method. So conduction, convection need medium. Radiation does not need a medium. And when you say conduction, this happens only in solids. Okay. And when you say convection, this happens in liquids as well as gases. Okay. So liquids and gases. When you say radiation, it happens only through vacuum. So it doesn't need a medium. So it happens only through the vacuum. So solids, liquids and gases here through vacuum. So can you give an example for conduction? Like when you heat a metal spoon, the heat will be conducted, right? The heat will be conducted. So when you're holding a metal spoon near to a flame, what happens? The heat will conduct that, and you can feel the hotness at the end of the spoon. So that is conduction. So it happens only through the solids. So convection. So convection happens in liquids and gases. Can you give an example for convection? Anyone? There are pictures in your textbooks. You can say any example for convection.
Boiling water.
Yeah, that's correct. So what happens when you're boiling water? So this is the water. Now you're boiling. So what happens is, so these are the water particles. So, and these are the upper water particles, and these are the lower water particles. So what happens when you're heating? First, the lower water particles get heated, and these upper water particles are cool, okay? So what happens after heat? These lower water particles get heated, they will go up, and these cool water particles will come down, and there will be a movement of particles, water particles. So this is how the heat is transferred. So this is an example for convection. Next, radiation. So radiation, there is only one example, sun and earth. So this is the earth and this is the sun. So between the sun and earth, there is no any medium, okay? So this is space. So space is has vacuum. So I said only radiation happens when there is vacuum, okay? Through vacuum, only radiation will be happen. So the answer for this is answer number 1, okay? So why the convection is wrong is because convection happens when there is a medium, okay? But between sun and earth, there is no any medium, only vacuum is present. That you should remember in this point, okay? So between the sun and earth, there is no medium, only vacuum is present. So here the key is conduction and convection need a medium, but radiation does not need a medium. It happens through vacuum. And then between sun and earth, you have only vacuum, no any medium, no any solid particle or liquid or gas particles. So what happens? Between sun and earth, the heat is transferred by the method radiation only. Okay? Got it? Shiran, got it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. That's not. Anyone? Others? Hirukan, Rovino? Okay, right? You can also talk, unmute and talk. Then it will be easy for me. I don't want to go and check the chat box. Okay. Next is question number 7. So, okay. As was extracted by a student from an environmental pyramid, that ecosystem has one producer, 8 primary consumers, 23 secondary consumers. Students has extracted this information from a. So, you know, in your syllabus, there are 4 types of pyramids, okay? So I'll teach the 4 types of pyramids. So one is, so always you should know at the bottom what producer will be there. What are the producers? Producers will be always plants, okay? And then the second level is the primary consumers. So for primary consumers, what are the? You can have the herbivores or omnivores. Herbivores means which only consume plants, and omnivores which consume plants or else the animals. So in the second level, you have the primary consumer. And the third level, you have the secondary. And then fourth level, you have the tertiary. Okay, so this is how you draw a pyramid. So now I said there are 4 types of pyramids. So first pyramid is the upright number pyramid. So in an upright number pyramid, here always the producer number is high. Okay, number is upright number pyramid. Okay, so always the producer number is high, and when you go through the higher levels, the tropical level number decreases. Okay, so at the tertiary level you have the lowest number. Okay, lowest number, and the producer has the highest number. So this is how the upright pyramid goes. Okay, when you see the inverted number pyramid, what happens is, so you have the producer, primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. So you know, producer means plants, secondary means, primary means which eat the plants, tertiary which eat these things, and then tertiary which will eat this. So this is like a chain. Okay. So in the inverted number pyramid, the number of producer is low. Okay. Less. So these are the key things you should remember. Okay. And the tertiary is high. So what will be the triangle the pyramid will be like this. Okay. So this is the inverted pyramid. Here we are talking about the number. And the same thing will happen when you're talking about the biomass. So whenever the producer has the higher biomass and the tertiary, the upper levels has the lower biomass, it is upright. Okay, upright biomass pyramid. And when you inverted biomass pyramid, when you have the producer biomass in a low level and tertiary, the upper ones in higher level, it is inverted biomass pyramid. So when we are talking about the numbers, it is number pyramid. And when you're talking about the biomass, it is biomass pyramid. Okay. So these are the 4 types, and these are the easy way to identify whether it's number or biomass, inverted or upright. Okay. So now we're going to go for the question. So they have said one producer. Okay, well, one producer. Then second, you have the primary consumer, 8 primary consumer. Then 23, say 23 secondary consumer. So I said these are the producers, these are the primary ones, these are the secondary ones. So you should know when here the primary producer has low number, okay, low number, And when you go through the higher level, this is highest. So what is this pyramid? So low number producer, when you go for the higher secondary level, it is high. So what is this pyramid? Can anyone say? Low producer and high secondary level. So what is the pyramid? Can anyone say? What is the answer for the sixth one? Did you understand? Low producer. Here it is. Pyramid is like this. What is this pyramid? Can you name? We are talking about numbers. Chiran, can you say the answer? Can anyone say the answer? Reply.
For the seventh one.
Yeah, for the seventh one. What is the pyramid I have drawn here? Is this pyramid?
Inverted number pyramid.
Yeah, correct. You're correct. So the answer is correct. Inverted number pyramid. So the key to see inverted and upright is whenever you have the producer number low and the secondary, tertiary higher levels high, that is inverted. When you see the upright, the producer number is high and the upper levels like tertiary, secondary consumers are in low number. So that is upright. Okay, where you can, if they're talking about the numbers, it is number pyramid, and if they're talking about the biomass, it is biomass pyramid. Okay, so that is the two differences you should know. Okay, next is a physics question. So here displacement time graph. Okay, displacement time graph of an object during time interval 0 to 1, t1 and t to t2. So they're asking the nature of the motion of the object respectively. So what is the nature from 0 to t1 and t1 to t2? So that is, you should know there are two graphs in your syllabus. Like one is distance time graph and the next one is displacement time graph. So here most students go wrong. So pay attention for this. I'll teach a simple way to answer these type of questions. Okay. So when you see the distance time graph, what is the gradient? How you find a gradient in any graph? So this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. So this is displacement. So for any graph, you're going to find a gradient. You should divide y-axis by x-axis. So distance divided by time is speed. Okay. So the gradient of this graph is speed. And the gradient of this graph is displacement divided by time. So that is velocity. Okay. So remember this. So distance time graph, we talk about speed, and displacement time graph, we talk about velocity. Okay. So now whenever in the distance time graph, you have a horizontal line. Okay. This represent the object is at rest. Okay. And whenever you have a slope like this, you should name the object is at constant or uniform speed. Okay, here we are talking about speed. So this is what you should know about distance time graph. So when you go for the displacement time graph, this is if the object is like, if you see a horizontal line, the object is at rest, okay? And when you see a slope that is uniform, like constant velocity, okay? So this is how, if the line is straight, horizontal, this is rest for both instance. And a distance time graph, if you have a slope that is constant speed, and displacement time graph, if you have a slope that is constant velocity, okay? So next, in additional, in displacement graph, there are two things. Do you know acceleration and deceleration? Yeah. So acceleration means the velocity is increasing, okay? Deceleration means the velocity is decreasing. From higher velocity, it is coming to rest, okay? That is acceleration. So when you see the displacement time graph, what is happening? So this, like if the graph is, if you see, this is acceleration. And then for deceleration or retardation, both means the same, okay? Retardation or deacceleration. For that, you should draw in the graph, it will like this, okay? So it decelerating and coming to rest, okay? So this is deceleration. So here it is coming to rest. The object is coming to rest. So these are the important things you should remember to find from the graph, to get the information from the graphs for the motion of the object, okay? So these are the 6 patterns you should keep in mind to get the information for the motion of the objects from the graph. Got it? So now we'll go to the question, okay? If you want, you can note it down. I'll give time. You can note it down. Do you have any doubts in this theory? Or do you have any doubts in this part? You can ask. Okay. Time is enough. We can go to the question now. So with that theory, we are going to do the question. So here from T1, this is a displacement time graph. So displacement time graph means what is the gradient? That is velocity. Okay, we talk about velocity here. So I said here the slope is, can see a slope. So what this means? Constant velocity or uniform velocity. Can you see? I taught you. Displacement time graph. Here this is the displacement time graph. You have a slope like this. That means constant velocity. So you can say this object is moving in a constant velocity or uniform velocity. Both means the same. That means it's like constant. This velocity is constant. Next here, what is this shape? So this is going and coming to rest. So if when you see draw straight line, that means rest. So it is coming to rest, okay? You should not misunderstand this as acceleration. Acceleration, the graph will be like this, okay? Here, deacceleration. I'll draw this again. See? This is deaccelerate. I'm sorry. Deaccelerating and coming to rest, okay? So this is deacceleration, this is uniform velocity. So now we'll go for the answers. Uniform velocity, correct. First option. For now we are going 8th question. Okay. Uniform velocity, correct. Acceleration, no. I said acceleration means the graph will be like this. But here it is like this. So it will be Deceleration. That means retardation. Both means the same. Okay. So acceleration is wrong. Uniform velocity correct. Retardation. The answer is correct. Uniform acceleration correct. Retardation correct. So answer is answer number 2. Okay. So 8th question, the answer is answer number 2. Do you have any doubts in this? Do you have any questions to ask? Got it? Say yes or no.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, good. Good. Okay. So we have done question 8. So now we'll move on to the question number 9. Okay, this is inheritance. Okay. So here they'll give up. So mainly for this type of question, they will ask 2 questions together. Okay. So now you should remember here. We'll read the question. Question 9 and 10 are based on the following informations and the illustration. Production of hemoglobin is disturbed by the thalassemia, an inherited disease caused by the gene mutation in somatic chromosome. So what do you mean by gene mutation? So gene mutation means the alterations in the genes, okay? That means the gene mutation. And in a somatic chromosome, what do you mean by somatic chromosome? So you know, like humans has 23 pairs of chromosomes, okay? So humans, they have 23 pairs of chromosomes. So out of that, the first 22 pairs are the somatic chromosomes, okay? So that is meant by somatic chromosome. So gene mutation means alter in the gene, so that may cause diseases like inherited diseases like thalassemia and all. Somatic chromosome means the first 22 pairs of the 23 chromosomes of the human. Okay, with the regard of the production of hemoglobin naturally, the dominant gene is T. So they are saying capital T is healthy, okay? Capital T, dominant gene. Dominant means capital. Recessive means simple, okay? You know that. Dominant means capital, recessive means simple, okay? So they are saying capital T is healthy, okay? So they produce enough amount of hemoglobin. So how this thalassemia is caused? So when you produce low number of hemoglobin, it will cause anemia, then it will related to thalassemia, okay? So that's how happen when you produce a low number of hemoglobin. So capital T means healthy. Simple T is producing less number of hemoglobin in causing this thalassemia disease. Okay, now they have given the F1 generation. So this is mother. Before that, I want to teach you something. Yeah. So whenever you have these, what do you call this? Whenever there is 2 capital T, what do you say? You say dominant homozygous, okay? Homozygous. So how can you remember this easily? So you should know dominant represent capital letters. And homozygous means homo. What do you mean by homo? Homo means same. Like T, capital T, capital T. That means homozygous. So here, capital T, capital T. So they said capital T indicates healthy. That means this is healthy. Capital T is healthy. Then you have simple T, simple T. So this is recessive heterozygous. I'm sorry, homozygous. Okay. Simple T. So recessive. So you should remember recessive means simple letters. Dominant means capital letters. Simple means recessive. Okay. So you have homozygous. Simple T, simple T. Have the same simple T, simple T. So they said simple T represent low production of hemoglobin. That means the patient is unhealthy. That is the patient with caused by thalassemia. Okay, this is a thalassemia patient. So when you have a gene like this is a thalassemia patient. Next, you have another combination that is capital T and simple T. So you have the capital T and simple T combination. So that is, you say, this is not, you can't say this is unhealthy, okay? You should say this is healthy, but this is a carrier of healthy, but the carrier of thalassemia, okay? So you call this type of things as, this type of combination as heterozygous, okay? Heterozygous. That means you have capital T and simple T. So you have heterozygous carrier, okay? Carriers. Heterozygous, homozygous. So these are the key terms you should know. So now we're going to see the question. Okay. So you have the mother. So you have mother is what? What is this mother? Yeah, so we have the combination capital T and simple T. So you should name, is this mother is healthy or carrier or a thalassemic patient? Can you name anyone?
Carrier.
Yeah, good, correct. So what about father? Father also carrier. Okay, so now we have to see, we'll go to the question, okay? Before that, we'll find what is the A, what is B, what is C, and what is D, okay? We will connect and we'll find. So first A, in F1 generation, we have the A. So capital T and capital T is combined, okay? Capital T, capital T. And then for B, capital T and, can you see the arrow? Simple T is combined. And for this, capital T and simple T is combined. Here, simple T is combined. Okay. So now, you should know what is this? Healthy or unhealthy? A.
Healthy.
Yeah, correct. A is healthy. B and C are carrier. And D is unhealthy. So this first, whenever they give this type of question, you should find this, write this down, and you should have the idea whether it's healthy, carrier, or thalassemic, okay, or unhealthy. So now we go to the question number 9. A thalassemia patient belongs to the F1 generation is, okay, what is the answer? So I said this is a healthy carrier, this is the unhealthy one. So who is the thalassemic patient here?
B.
Yeah, it is D. So
D.
this is how you approach this question, okay? You should write, and you should know whether it's healthy carrier or the unhealthy one. Next, you can answer the two questions quickly with less time. So the ratio among the thalassemia patient, healthy disease carriers. So you should, so whenever they're asking the ratio, you should not collapse, like first, healthy disease carriers. So healthy disease carriers, that means it should be like T. Healthy individuals, that means capital T, capital T. And here thalassemic patient, so TT. So this is the first, this is the second. So this is, you have one patient, and you have two carriers, and you have one healthy one, okay? So what is the ratio? One, the patient, two carriers, and one healthy one. So 1:2:1 ratio. So this is how you do. Got it? Clear? Yeah. So the main thing you should know is you should know how to name these combinations of the genes, and then you should know whether it's healthy carrier or the unhealthy, the diseased one. Okay, so this is the theory point behind this type of MCQs. Okay, so they can give you any diseases, but for everything, this will be the formula like thing. Okay. So 11th question, which statement is always true about the magnitude of displacement of an object? So whenever the question says always, here you should give a special attention, okay? They are asking always. Okay, now we go to the options. Greater than the distance moved. Okay, now here they are talking about distance. So I think in this question, they are comparing distance and displacement. So first of all, you should know what is distance and what is displacement. Okay, I'll say you with an example. So this is point A and this is point B. So you can go straight away like this too from A to B. So what do you call? This is the displacement. Okay. So imagine this is just 100 meter. But there are other pathways also to go to from A to B. Like this is path, imagine this is path X. This is path X. Okay, so here the distance, you can go like 200 meter to go from A to B, have 200 meter. There's another pathway. Have 2y, so this is 210 10 meter, okay, 210 meter. So you can see that whenever there's a less from A to B, if you go in a less distance, that is called the displacement. And whenever you go in like a different, like a longer distance, that is called the distance, okay? It's like A to B. You can remember displacement is like a shortcut and the distance is like a long pathway to go for a destination, okay? So displacement is like a shortcut and distance is like a long pathways to go for a destination, okay? So now we'll go for the options. Greater than the distance moved. Is that correct? So I said displacement is shortcut. So displacement is always less than the distance. Okay, that is a point you can remember. So displacement means shortcut. Distance is like a long pathway. So displacement is always less than the distance. Okay. So here always true. Okay. This is false. So this is always false statement. Next, equal to the distance moved. So whether it is correct, it may be correct. Okay. Sometimes the shortcut pathway and the long way pathway may be like different. May be same. That is in some occasions. So it is not always correct. Okay. So you ignore this. You eliminate this option. So the distance can be sometimes equal to the displacement. Okay. That's in rare occasions. So you can't say always the displacement and distance moved will be equal. You can't say always equal. It can be sometimes equal. So displacement, distance can sometimes equal, not always. Okay, remember this. So lesser than the distance moved, that is correct. Okay. But here the fourth option is either equal or less than the distance moved. So this is, you can say always correct. Okay. So I said, sometimes the distance is equal to displacement. So you can go for the safe option, that is either equal or less than. So less than the distance moved. Okay. So the 11th question, the answer is answer number 4. Got it? So this is wrong. Either equal or less than the distance moved. This is always true about the displacement. Okay. So next question. the electronic configuration of the atoms of two elements X, Y, 281, 287 respectively. Of the following statements about the pair of those elements, which statement is false? So these are called electronic configurations. So now we're going to see the theory behind how to find the period, the group of the element given by just given when the electronic configuration is given. Okay, so now we're going to see that. So before that, in O-level exams, you will be provided with your periodic table. Okay, so but it's better you remember this. This is you should, for your level, you should remember only the first 20 elements, right? So you can memorize this by any mnemonics, or it's up to you. Okay. B at C not on fashionable. So I used a mnemonic and learned this during my O-level, so I can remember up to now. Okay, so that is the key way to remember forever. Okay, you can put in your own language or anything you like, any songs or whatever. Okay. So now we're gonna see how. So my theory is the theory I'm gonna teach is whenever they give only the configuration, how you're gonna find the period and the group. Okay, so X they have given 8, 1. Am I correct? X, yeah, 281. And Y, they have given 287. So here you should remember the theory is the number of electrons in the last shell. So electrons are in the energy levels or energy shells. Last shell is called represent the group. Okay. So now we'll see. So I said first is number of electrons in the last shell. So we have 1, 2, 3 shell. So this is the last shell. 1, 2, 3. This is the last shell. So here, the last shell, you have 1 electron. That means, what is the group? Anyone say? What is the group of X?
Group 1.
Yeah, correct. Group. So when you're writing group, you should always write in Roman numbers, okay? And by, you have the last shell number, group 7, okay? Group 7 and group 1. Now, the next point is, I said, the number of shells. So number of electrons in the last shell, here the number of shells. That will represent the period. So first you should know these are the groups. So the verticals are the groups. The columns are the groups. The rows are the periods, okay? So here number of shell represent the period. So here X has 1, 2, 3 number of shells. So what is the group of X? Sorry, period of, I'm sorry, period of Y, X and Y. We have 1, 2, 3. If you have 3 shells, what is the period? Yeah, correct. Period is third period. So now we're gonna find the location, okay, of X and Y. So here X is group number 1. So this is group number 1 and third period. So this 1, 2, 3, third period. So X is sodium. Okay, so here found. Next, group 7. So group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the group 7. And you have the period 3. So 1, 2, 3. So Y is chlorine. So now you have found what is X, what is Y. Okay, so you should know, or sodium is a metal or a non-metal. Sodium,
Non-metal.
yeah, non-metal. And chlorine. I'm asking sodium. Is sodium is a metal or non-metal?
Metal.
Yeah, metal. Okay. Chlorine,
Non-metal.
non-metal. Okay. So you know metals. Metals produce always positive ions. Okay. So when positive ions. So when you see sodium, that will produce sodium plus. And when you say chlorine, non-metals will produce negative ions. So chlorine minus. So when positive ions and negative ions join, they form ionic compounds. Okay. So this is how you found. So now we'll go through the options and find the false one. Located in the same period in the periodic table. Yeah. What is the period? It is 3. X is also 3. Y is also 3. So that is a correct statement. Located in the same group. Is that same group? No, X is 1. Y is 7. So group is different. So that is false. Chemically combine forming ionic bonds. Yeah. Say I said metals, non-metals, they form cations, anions, and they will join together forming ionic bonds and ionic compounds. So that is correct. Combine and form the compound with a chemical formula X and Y. Okay. So chemical formula is X and Y. So how you find the chemical formula? So you should know whenever the group is given the valency, you know something called valency. What do you mean by valency? So it is the number of electrons in the outermost shell which is able to release or gain electrons, okay? That may able to make bonds. So when you group 1, you have the valency 1, 2, 3, 4. And for here, let me go 3, 2, 1. Okay. So here, this is the valency. So you know X has valency 1 and Y has valency 1. So this is, so X has valency 1 and Y also have valency 1. So X, when you write X and Y, XY. So when you, I'll give an example. So you are selecting element from group 2. Okay. So yeah, this is Z. Okay. So can you name the formula when Z and Y combine? What is the formula? Can anyone say? How do you write the formula when Z and Y combines? Do you have an idea how to write using valency? Shiran, do you know how to write? How to combine and write the formula by using valency?
Yes.
Yeah, so say when Z, that is group 2, and Y. So I have named magnesium as Z and Y is chlorine. Can you combine and write the formula Z and Y?
ZY2.
Yeah, that is correct. So how you did that? So you know Z is group number 2. So group number 2 means you should write the valency. Group, so Z, you will be writing Z. The valency is 2. And when you see the Y, the valency is 1. Okay, so now you will exchange both for both. So Z will get 1 and Y will get 2. So this is how you write a formula using valency. So Shiran, good. Others also can answer. You can interact. When you interact, you can be active learning. So that is called active learning. So that is correct. So the answer is answer number 2. Next is the 13th question. what is the number of O2 molecules contained in 64 gram of oxygen gas? Okay, I think I should do a calculation. We should do a calculation for this. You can, if you have practice, you can directly get the question, but for your level, you should do calculations and find the answer. Okay. Okay. I'm going to add a page. Okay. So what was the question? Okay, they have given O. Oxygen have 16. It's the relative molecular mass. Then what is the relative molecular mass of O2 molecule? So how do you calculate relative molecular mass? So you have one oxygen is 16. So you have two oxygen. That means 32. Okay. Then how do you write the molar mass of oxygen? So molar mass, will be writing 32 in gram per mole. So this is the unit of molar mass. That means per mole you have 32 grams of oxygen. Okay. That is the molar mass. Per 1 mole you have 32 grams. That is molar mass. Then this is the first step. First you should find the molar mass. Then you have the equation. That is the special equation. You're going to find the number of moles. Okay. Number of moles. That is mass divided by, so for molar mass, the symbol is capital M. Simple M represent mass and your molar mass. So molar mass is capital M. So here simple N. So this is the simple equation you can remember. N is equal to capital M over simple M divided by capital. So this is the equation you can remember. So you're going to find the number of moles of oxygen. So they have said, we'll go to the question. 64 grams of oxygen. Okay, they have given 64 grams of oxygen. So 64 gram is the mass. And your molar mass, you found out it is 32 gram per mole. Okay. So now what is the answer? 62 divided by 64 divided by 32 is 2. So gram will be cancelled. This mole goes up. Then you have the 2 moles. So N is equal to 2 moles. So you have from 64 grams, oxygen has 2 moles. So per mole, you have 32 grams. Then 64 grams means you can easily say 2 moles. That is the calculation. Okay. So now you have 2 moles of oxygen. Now they are asking the number of molecules. So for that, you can remember this. 1 mole contain 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. Okay. So what is this? This is Avogadro's constant. Okay. So this is how you remember. So now they are asking how many molecules in this 64 grams of oxygen. That is, so 1 mole have 6.22 into 10 to the power 3. So 2 mole, we're going to multiply 6.22 into 10 to the power 2 into by 2. Okay. This is multiplied by 2. So then for per 1 mole, you have this much. So for 2 mole, you have 2 multiplied by 2. So that's very simple. Okay, molecules. Okay, so we'll go through the steps quickly. First step, so they have, what is the information given? 16, and you have the oxygen, and you have 64 grams. This is the mass. This is the only information given, and they are asking molecules. This is the question. So first step is you should find the molar mass. So 16, you have 2 oxygen molecules. You're going to multiply by 2, so 32. Then you're going to find the second step is finding the number of moles. So mass over molar mass. So mass is given, then the found molar mass, you get division, you have 2 moles. Then they are asking the molecules. So you know this 1 mole is equal to this much. So this is Avogadro constant. So how much you found the 2 moles means you should multiply by that value. So this is the third step. So here the important equations are this and this one. Okay. Got it? You can write. I'll give you time. Okay. Do you want time to write? Students, you can note this down. Have 3 steps. I'll give you some time. Okay. Shall I move on to the next question? Hiruka, Chiran, and put messages. Yeah. So next is Chiran, you should leave by 4, right? You will be provided with recordings, okay? I'll finish these questions, 20 questions quickly, and so you can leave. So yeah, this answer is answer number 2, okay? This is done. This is done. Okay. So now this is an important pattern of questions. So what is this? This is the ionization energy graph, okay? Y, X, Z. Y, X, Y, Z. W, X, Y, Z. Okay, I'll teach you this. So this is the first ionization energy graph. This pattern you should remember to answer this type of question. So here you can see helium. Helium is a group 8 element. Neon is a group 8 element. Argon is a group 8 element. Then 8 means here group 1. Group 1. Group 1. So can you see a trend like from 8th group to first group, you have a sudden drop. Can you see? Sudden drop. Sudden drop. So this is the main pattern you should remember. From 8th group to first group, you have a sudden drop. So when you see a sudden drop, you should name this one which is above as the 8th group and below as the group number 1. Okay. Then you can go, right, if you know group number 1 and 8, you can name the other groups. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here also 1 means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and here 2. So this is how you name the finding the groups. So here, this is the key pattern, okay? Group 8 elements have the highest first ionization energy and group 1 element have the lowest first ionization energy. So this pattern you should remember. When you see a sudden drop in this first ionization graph, the one which is above is group 8 and one which is below is group number 1. So this is the key for answering this type of question. So now, can you see in this graph? So here, WX, you have a sudden drop and then you have a pattern. So what is group number of W? Anyone? What is the group number of W? Can anyone answer? Group number of W. What? 8. X? What is the group number of X?
1.
Yeah,
1.
correct. Correct. So 1, here 8. So after you finding 8 and 1, you can easily find the remaining. So what is Y and Z?
2.
Yeah, Y is 2 and Z is 3. So here, can you, so if you know that key pattern, sudden drop from 8 to 1, you can answer this question easily. Got it? So they are asking, which group the periodic table Y is placed. So you can easily say it is group 2. Then done. Question is done. Next question. The substances acting as the main components providing energy for the functioning of the human body are. So, you know, you have four types of main components, like first is carbohydrate, protein, lipid, and the vitamins. So they are asking about energy, providing energy. So you should remember like this. So when you see carbohydrates, proteins, and so I write the energy order. So fat will give the highest energy, carbohydrate will give the second highest energy, and the protein will give energy to your body. When you lack, whenever there is no fat or carbohydrate to be burned in your body, the protein will burn the muscles. The proteins are in the muscles of your body. So that will burn to give you energy. Okay. So these are the only three nutrients that will give you energy. So highest energy is given by fat. Second is the carbohydrates, and protein will give whenever only when the absent of fat and carbohydrate in the body. Remember that well. So now vitamins. Well, vitamins will never give you energy. It is needed for the biochemical reactions of the body, like blood clotting, like many biochemical reactions that taking place in our body, acting as an antioxidants. Like, so main energy providers are fat, carbohydrate, and protein. You should remember, whenever fat and carbohydrate is absent, only they will act as an energy givers. Okay. So acting main components. So they are main. So proteins and lipids. So I said protein is not a main one. It is like a whenever lipids and what carbohydrates are absent, only they will provide energy. So that is wrong. First option is wrong. See, proteins and vitamins, I said vitamins is for the biochemical functions. That is wrong. Proteins also wrong. So carbohydrates correct, lipids correct. So this is correct. Carbohydrates correct. Proteins, I said proteins is not main. Okay, carbohydrate, lipids are main. Proteins whenever the other two are absent. Okay, so answer is answer number 3. This is a easy question. Next. A person's glucose level in the blood has increased above the optimum level. Which of the following food items should he consume minimally? Okay, so a high level of glucose, that means what? The patient is, what is the condition of the patient? Disease. High blood glucose level means the patient has diabetes, okay? Diabetes mellitus. So they are asking which food he should less consume minimally. So the foods which contain glucose or which produce glucose after digestion should not be consumed, okay? So a patient with diabetes should avoid foods which has more glucose, or the foods which hydrolyze to form glucose, okay? So when you see meat, it is rich in protein, so he can take. Protein will hydrolyze to amino acids. Milk, when you see milk, it will be hydrolyzed to lactose, so he can intake. Green gram, it is with protein, okay? You should know these things, okay? And bread, what is bread is made up of? What is the nutrient? Can anyone say bread contain?
Carbohydrate.
Carbohydrate, yeah. Carbohydrate, and mainly the starch, okay? Starch. That is a starch food item. So when you see the starch, it is made up of glucose molecules. So starch is a So monosaccharide, polysaccharide. So starch is a polysaccharide. So it is made up of monosaccharide glucose. So the glucose molecules will combine together to form starch. So when you intake starch and after digestion, it will break down to glucose particles, right? So what happens? It will increase the blood glucose level. So he should consume this food minimally. So answer is answer number 4. Okay. So this is how you find the answer for this. Got it? So select the false statement about nucleic acid. Okay. So what is nucleic acid? First, you should know nucleic acid, the components of nucleic acid. Okay, I'll write card. Okay. Yeah. So nucleic acid, it is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Okay, so these are the elements. And when you see the nucleic acid, they have 3 components. So one is the pentose sugar. Okay, pentose sugar. So pentose sugar. So can you name the 2 types of nucleic acid? DNA and the other one is? DNA. The other one is?
RNA.
Yeah, RNA. Okay. So here pentose sugar, and then you have the pentose sugar is like this shape, right? Pentose sugar, and you have the nitrogenous base, and you have the phosphate group. Okay. So these are the 3 components where the nucleic acid is made. It's called nucleotide. These all 3 together we call as nucleotide. Okay, this is called nucleotide. 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 Okay, so you should remember like CHO will come for this, nitrogen for here, phosphate is the phosphorus group. Okay, so CHONP are the elements, and these are the 3 components, and these 3 components join together to form nucleotide. And these nucleotide will join together to form a polynucleotide chain. Okay, these are the nucleotide particles. So, okay, this is a polynucleotide chain. Nucleotide chain. Okay. So when you see the DNA, it is made up of like these made up of like 2 such polynucleotide strands. Okay, 2 strands, and here RNA is only 1 strand. So DNA is made up of 2 strands which run oppositely twisted, and when you see RNA, it is made up of only 1 polynucleotide chain. So this is the theory behind it. Now we'll go for the question. It's a false statement. Building unit is called nucleotide. Is that correct? I said this is the building unit. So you see, this is the building unit. 1, 2. So I said this is the nucleotide. This is made up of this. This is made up of this. So it is come like a from element level to component level, and that is the nucleotide all together. And then this nucleotide join together to form the polynucleotide chains. So that is called the nucleic acid. Okay. So that is correct. These are nucleotide, that is the building block, is a natural polymer. Polymer means, what do you mean by polymer? Polymer means these monosaccharide, the nucleotides, any monomers join together to form the polymer. So monosaccharides join together to form polysaccharide. Nucleotides join together from nucleic acids. Okay, that's the polymer. That's correct. Store hereditary information, that is correct. The function of the nucleic acid is the main function. Contain the element CHON only. So the word only makes the statement false. You have additionally P, which means the phosphorus group. Okay, it is wrong. So answer is answer number 4. So it is correct. Okay, next is explain the seeds and the fruits dispersed by water, wind, explosive mechanism. Okay, I have a picture for this. For your, okay. So these are the options given. Okay, so Ceylon almond. Okay, see this picture. So you have a thick coat, like seed coat. So that is dispersed by wind. Okay, I'm sorry, water. So Ceylon almond, remember, it is dispersed by water. You see Hora. So it is the structure. You can say it is has two wing-like structure. So whenever there's wings, it is for flying, right? So flying means by wind. So it is wind. Mango, here flesh edible part. So monkeys, squirrels, they will eat. So by animals. The lotus. So when you see, can you see the lotus structure? The pictures are for your visual memory, okay? So when you see lotus, you have sponge-like structure. So sponge and porous, so it can float on water, right? So it is also water. The seed is water. So can you see the castor fruit? So castor fruits has like some spikes. So spikes means like hook-like structure. So that will get attached to the fur of any animals like cow or and it will disperse. So this is by animals. When you see rubber, so rubber, what happens rubber is, so we have the rubber seeds, right? So that will explode and they will disperse to another place. So rubber seeds will explode with high pressure and the seed inside will be dispersed. So that is wind or explosive. Okay, explosive. When you see coconut, so with the picture itself, you can say it is by water. Can you see? The coconut seed is floating on the water. So it is water. So next we have the milkweed. So milkweed is also called calotropis. So can you see the structure? It's like very light structure, like with feather-like structure. So you can say wind or explosive. Okay, explosive. So rubber, wind or explosive. So jackfruit. So jackfruit, the squirrels or the animals will eat, and it will animals. Okay. So cotton, you can say it is by wind or explosive. Okay. When you see the okra bandaka means the lady's finger. Okay. So that is by explosive mechanism, mainly by explosive. So whenever the seed get dried, it will get bursted and it get explode the seeds and it will get dispersed. So wind or explosive. Okay, so these are the things you should remember. So now we'll go for the option. Okay, so with that, can you select the answer now? First is by water, wind, explosive. Can anyone select the answer? Water, wind, explosive.
Third one.
Which answer?
Third one.
Third one. Okay, we'll see whether it's correct. So coconut by water, correct. Milkweed, it is by wind. Yeah, wind and explosive. Wind. And when you say rubber, it is explosive. That's correct. Answer is answer. So we'll see how to omit the first other options. So when you see Ceylon almond, it is by water. And then Hora, it is by wind. Mango by animals. So it is wrong. Lotus by water. Castor by animals. Rubber by explosive. So it is wrong. Fourth one, jack by animals. Cotton, wind. Okra, explosive. So it is wrong. We have animals means wrong. Okay. Next, that is done. So which of the following does not pass into the fetus from oxygen through the umbilical cord? So you should remember that. So whenever the mother is pregnant, you have the structure inside the womb. You have the structure called placenta. So this is the fetus and this is the mother's uterus. Okay. So you have the placental structure and you have the umbilical cord connected with the fetus. Okay. So what is happening is through the by the placenta through the umbilical cord from mother to fetus, all the nutrients, oxygen will be supplied. Oxygen, nutrients will be supplied. And whenever and from fetus to mother, what happens? The waste products and carbon dioxide are transferred. So from mother, so mother is giving the good things. The fetus is giving bad things to mother. Okay, remember like that. Mothers will give oxygen, nutrients. The fetus will give waste products and the carbon dioxide to the mother. So through the umbilical cord. Okay, you can say both. So now we'll the key thing you should remember is the blood will never pass through the placenta. Okay, through the placenta, the blood will never goes exchanged. So the blood of the mother and the fetus is never mixed. Okay, that is the thing you should remember. So when you see here, this is wrong. You're correct. This is correct because nutrients are passed from mothers to fetus. Oxygen, mothers to fetus. Pathogens also transferred from mothers to fetus. So that is why if the mother is also get infected during pregnancy, the fetus, the pathogens will transfer. So for 19, the answer is answer number 1 because it does not pass. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Is Chiran there or he's left? Only you there. Okay. Hiruka, do you have other friends to join this class? What about your other friends?
I asked from them,
Uh-huh.
but they didn't reply yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, tell about this that 10 days series so they can get advantage. Like some classes are done free also, so that's free sessions are provided, so you can get the advantage. Okay, tell your other friends also.
Okay, Miss, I will again ask.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So we have done 19th question. We'll go to the 20th question. What is the ray diagram which illustrates the phenomena of the total internal reflection? So before that, you should know this method. Okay. This concept of refraction. Okay, we'll study the concept of refraction. So you know, there are two types of mediums, dense medium and rare medium. So what is dense medium? Whenever the speed of the light is slow, okay, you say that is dense medium. Okay, dense, rare. So this is the normal line. So whenever the speed of the light is low, you say the dense medium. Speed of the light is fast, you say the rare medium. So again, examples for dense medium. Give examples for dense medium.
I can't remember.
Okay. Dense medium, water, glass, those are dense medium, okay? When you say air is a rare medium. The speed of the light is very fast compared to water and glass. So that is called dense medium, that is called rare medium. Okay, so now there are two occasions. Either the light can travel from dense to rare or else from rare to dense. Okay. So from rare to dense. Okay. So this is the normal line. So here, you're gonna see, this is the way the light is coming. Okay. So light is coming from dense to rare. So whenever light is moving from dense to rare, what is happening is the light ray will bend away from the normal. Okay. So bend away from the normal. When you go from rare to dense, this is rare medium, this is the dense medium. So this is the normal line. Okay, this is the normal line. This is the normal line. So what happens is the light ray will bend towards the normal. Okay, so this is the two occasions. The light ray will bend towards the normal. So like I'll give you a tip to remember this easily. Okay, so imagine dense medium as a dark place. Okay, this is as a dark place. This is like just to remember. Okay, like what happens when dense to rare, whether light ray will bend away or come towards the normal line. So this is like a tip to remember. First, you should imagine dense medium as a dark area and rare medium as a bright area. Okay, so you have, when you go under the water, it means like dark, right? You see air, air is like you have bright. The natural light is like bright. So imagine dense as a dark area and rare as a bright area. And imagine the normal line as the mother. Okay, just imagine like a mother and the light coming as the child. Okay, this is child, this is the mother. Normal line, imagine normal line as mother and the light coming as the child. So whenever the child is coming from dark to bright area, will it go towards the mother or away from the mother? Like dark area, the child will be so frightened, right? He'll be so much of fear. So now it is coming to a bright area. That means he or she has lost the fear, so that the child will go away from the mother. So the mother, this is the mother. So the child is going away from the mother. So dense to rare medium, light ray is going away from the normal line. So the child is coming from dark area to bright area. The child is moving away from the mother. Okay. So the opposite is happening here. So when the child, this is the child coming. Okay. Child is coming from bright area to a dark area. So dark area means bright area to dark area, the child got the fear. So as the child got the fear, it will come near his or her mother. So it will come towards the normal line. So this is how you remember this concept. This is just a tip. Okay. Whenever if you forget during your exams, you said you don't have the idea of like the basic like dense or rare medium, so you can remember this as the beginning. Okay. So now that, okay, got it right? Did you get that example?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, you can remember that way. So now there's another theory point you should learn. There's a concept called total internal reflection. Okay, so this is about refraction. We were talking about refraction. Now we are going to learn about total internal reflection. So you know reflection, right? So light ray reflection. When you point a light in front of a mirror, what happens? The light will reflect or refract.
Reflect.
Reflect, yeah, reflect. The light will reflect. So when you point light ray into a water or glass, through that medium, the light will reflect or refract.
Reflect, Miss.
In the water.
Reflect.
Yeah, water. Refract. So that is the difference between reflect and refract. Okay. So refract means the light will reflect, means the light will come in the same direction, the same angle. Refract means the light ray will go to the other medium, either going away from the normal or towards the normal. That is the difference between the reflection and refraction. So now we are going to learn the new concept connected with both of these. That is total internal reflection. Okay. So total internal reflection. So this total internal reflection concept always happen. Remember this, always happen from dense medium to rare medium. Okay. When the light travels from dense to rare, only this total internal reflection is going to happen. Okay. So there are three pictures you should remember. So this is the interface. This is the normal light. This is the dense medium. This is the rare medium. So what is happening is, so the light ray is coming, right? So this angle is called I. What is this I? Do you know? Can you remember? Angle of
Angle of reflection.
I. Angle of, you forgot?
Yes, miss. I can't.
I is angle of incidence. Okay. Angle of incidence. So I is angle of incidence. Like whenever the starting angle of the light is called incidence. Okay. So you are just directing a light to this interface. Okay. You are just directing in a angle. So this angle is called incident angle. Okay. That is the beginning of the angle, beginning angle. Okay. Next.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said you dense to rare. This is the normal line. Will the light ray bend towards the normal or away from the normal? So dense medium, rare medium. Towards or away?
Towards.
Dense to rare. Remember, dense to rare. Dense to rare. Yeah. Away from the normal. Okay, so you have, this is called the angle of refraction. So you will calculate the angle from the normal line. Okay, this is the normal line. This is the refracting way. So here, this is the angle of refraction. This is the angle of incidence. Okay. So now what you're going to do in the next step is, this is the dense medium. This is the rare medium. This is the normal line. So now you're going to increase this incident angle. That means you're going to take this angle this side. Okay. This side increasing. That what happens? Angle of incident is going to increase means what happens? The refracting angle will increase or decrease. You are increasing this side. This will go like this, right? It will go more and more away from the normal. So finally, it will become the 90 degrees. Okay, that will go through the interface. So the refracting angle is going to be through the interface. So here the refracting angle is 90 degrees. So whenever the refracting angle is 90 degrees, this incident angle is called the C. What is C angle? Can you remember that? Can you remember the name of the angle C?
No, miss.
Critical angle, okay? Critical angle. Okay, yeah. So this is the critical angle. So what is happening? Dense to rare, just imagine you are dense to rare medium, we are pointing the light ray, and you have got the incident ray, and the light will move away from the normal. Then you got the refracting ray. So next step, you're gonna increase the incident angle. So what happens? The refracting will move further away from the normal line. So finally, it will go through this. It is called the interface, right? This horizontal line is called the interface. That means which separates the rare medium and the dense medium. So water, I mean, you have water in a bath means the air, the surface above the water is the air, the rare medium, and the water is called the dense medium. So that surface of the water is the interface. Okay. So this is the interface. So you got the 90 degree and you got the critical angle. Okay. So now you got, then the next third step, what you're going to do is, so dense medium, rare medium, you're going to further increase this critical angle, okay? So you increase this incident angle, now you're going to further increase this critical angle. So beyond increasing that, what happens is, so you got the refracting angle like this, right? It will start to come more like this. It will go more like a rotate and it will come in the, it undergo reflection. Okay, so this is called this concept is called total internal reflection. Got it? Reflection. Remember, reflection. Reflection means same side. Refraction means opposite. One is here, that is other. So in the total internal reflection, both the angles will be equal. If this is I means this R here, this is the reflection. So I is always equal to R. Got it? This is the concept. Did you get this concept? Do you have any doubts in this concept?
No, Miss, all clear.
Okay. So then you should be able to answer this question. Okay. What is the ray diagram which illustrates the phenomena of total internal reflection?
One.
Yeah, correct. How did you find?
The both angles are same.
Yeah, perfect. Good. So now we're gonna see what is the reason we are eliminating the second, third, fourth. Okay. So when you see the second, yeah, glass to air, the condition when a total internal reflection, I said always remember, always dense to rare. So the condition is satisfied. But when you see this one, this is larger. So it should be equal, right? So this is wrong. So we are eliminating because of that reason. Here, glass to air, condition satisfied. And this condition is called critical angle. They are asking about total internal reflection. So this condition is critical angle. Critical angle is 90. So that is the reason we are eliminating this. Here, what is the reason? Can you guess why we are eliminating this? What is the error in this picture?
It's not the total internal reflection.
Okay. So this is glass to air. Can you guess the error? So I said you compare this angle and say, so glass to air.
It should be away from the normal.
Yeah, correct. Very good. So it should go away. So the angle should be increased, right? So that is the error. Good. Very good. Okay. So we have done, according to the plan, we have done the first 20 MCQ. Do you have any doubts in these first 20 MCQs?
No, Miss.
Okay. From which MCQ you joined?
I think
Third, right? Or like,
I think 12 or 13, I think.
or 12 or 13. So have you tried this paper, 2020?
Still no, Miss.
Okay. So you can watch the recording for the first 12 questions. Okay. So you can get so first you try the paper where it is like if you don't know the answers, anything that is okay, completely okay. First you should, if you know or if you don't know, like you should try the paper without any help. Then you can watch the recording and find the answers and write the explanations for each MCQs. Okay, so now we're gonna do the structured one. Okay. So what is the lesson of this question number 1? Mostly,
Biosphere.
yeah, correct. Biosphere. Is anyone? Rovino also there, right? Okay. Rovino, You understood the first 20 MCQs, right? Can I get a reply from you? I didn't get any reply from you. Can you reply? Okay. If not, you can ask me anything like here. Only 2 students are there. You can freely ask and get the benefit from this class. Okay. You can unmute and talk. Then it will be very easy for me to communicate and teach quickly. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna do this paper. So like, why am I training you like this? Means like first structured, all the first 5 past paper means they're gonna ask the same question, like repeatedly they're gonna ask the same point. Like, you know, the biosphere lesson is a big lesson, but they won't ask all the questions. Like, they will repeat the same questions. So if you know to answer the practice, the pattern of the question they answer in the past structured one, you can confidently write the question 1, okay, and get the full marks. So that is how you study. You should study the pattern of questions. Like, don't need to study and sit and study the theory at the last moment. Like, if you're not feeling not confident with the theory, you should go for the paper. Like, in even for the university students, we'll go do the past papers and we'll score. That is the best way. Like, you should remember past paper, doing past paper and practicing question is the best way to score even from scratch, right? Okay, we'll go for the first question. The following figure indicates several common sources of pollutants, the gaseous pollutants produced by them. Primary pollutants indicating other gaseous pollutant directly added to the atmosphere. Okay, so now, so they have the picture. You don't need to even read these things. It is a time waste. So once they have, so question 1 will be mostly they will give pictures. So A part, they will give a picture like this, and B part, most probably they will give a graph like question, okay? So A part will be a picture, this picture question, and B part will be a graph question. That is the pattern of the question. So once you get the paper, you can see this picture first. So when you see this picture, you can see primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. First, you should know what is primary pollutants. So primary pollutants are the pollutants which are directly added to the atmosphere, okay? You see the primary pollutants, they are directly added to the atmosphere. And can you see the sources? So it is coming from aircraft, volcanoes, cultivated lands, eutrophied water bodies, factories. I'll explain what is this later. Motor vehicles. So these are so it is added directly. So what is secondary pollutant means? These primary pollutants react with air. They react with air. Air means air contain water, oxygen, and sunlight, like everything. So this air, primary pollutants react with air, they form the secondary pollutants. Got it? So this is the overall idea you should know by just looking at the picture. Now we'll go to the question. A. The pollutant source producing primary pollutants without human interference. So they are asking the pollutant source producing primary. So these are the primary pollutants. They're asking you should be careful with the wordings, okay? Pollutant source. So these are the sources. These are the primary pollutants. These are secondary pollutants. So here they're asking the source which produce the primary pollutants without human interference. That means what? Naturally.
Volcanoes.
Yeah, very good. That is correct. All the others by human activities, artificial. Okay. Volcanoes. So you should know what is the primary pollutant released by the volcano. It is SO2. Remember that. They may on the in any paper they can ask primary pollutant released by volcanoes is the sulfur dioxide. Okay, you can take a note and write these things. So can you give an example for like another natural pollutant source producing primary pollutant, like anything?
Biogas.
Biogas. Biogas is produced by fertilizers, right? So fertilizers are by humans. So that is not a natural. Natural, it should be natural process. You can say forest fire. So those are like natural without any interference of human, which happen naturally. Okay. Next question. The secondary pollutant affecting living beings favorably in the upper regions. So they're asking the secondary pollutant. So when a secondary pollutant, you should see this column, this circle. Favorably in upper regions of the atmosphere and unfavorably in the lower regions of the atmosphere. Can you guess what will be the answer out of this?
Ozone.
Yeah, correct. So the reason is when you go through the upper atmosphere, right, you have a layer called ozone layer, right? This ozone layer will protect UV rays entering to the earth. So that is a favorable. When this ozone layer is high in the lower regions, so it will cause, it is not a good gas to breathe, okay? So it will produce many respiratory problems. So that is the unfavorable effect. So upper regions, good effect. Lower region, the adverse effect. So that is ozone tree. So that is the reason, okay? You can note it down, okay? The reason. Then third one, primary pollutant producing secondary pollutants which contribute to acid rain.
NO2.
NO2, correct. So we'll see how it is produced, okay? NO2 and also you can say one more SO2. Okay, write this also down. So we're gonna see how this primary pollutant is produced, secondary which contributing. So what is happening is, so do you know this is the primary pollutant? So I said you that whenever the primary pollutant reacts with air, it forms the secondary pollutant. Okay. So air includes water, oxygen, or anything. So now this NO2 is going to react with H2O and produce HNO3. Okay. And this SO2 will gonna react with H2O, producing H2SO4. So can you see? NO2 and SO2 are in the primary column. So here it is going to react with water and produce secondary pollutant. See, HNO3, H2SO4. So these are acids, right? So these are acids. So acids will contribute to acid rain. That is very simple. So this is how you can write this down for the third question. Okay. So next is the primary pollutant with basic properties that liberates from eutrophied water bodies.
Carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide, primary pollutant with basic properties. Here, basic properties. Eutrophied water bodies. So
NH2.
it's what? N
NH2.
NH3. There is no NH2, NH3, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, NH3. That is correct. So carbon monoxide is acidic, basic. You can see. Don't be hurry. Like read the questions properly. Okay. The answers, sometimes the answers will be in this questions itself. Okay. So that is basic. So do you know what is eutrophied water bodies? Have you seen what is eutrophication? Can you explain? At least in one word. Okay, I'm going to explain. So you know fertilizers, right? So in farmland, so in agriculture, we use fertilizers. So remember this, the thing I'm going to teach is very important. This is the, these points they will ask, they are asking all the 5 past papers. These points are included, okay? You can note it down. So listen carefully. So you know fertilizers, right? Which used in agriculture. So those fertilizers contain the ions phosphorus, phosphates, and nitrates. Okay. These are called phosphates, nitrates. So these fertilizers in the farmland during agriculturing, what happens when the rain is pouring from the farmland, these fertilizers are brought to these reservoirs. Okay, the fertilizers are come to the reservoirs or the any water bodies like lake, pond, river. So now these water bodies are rich in nutrients, excess nutrients. So excess nutrients, you have phosphates. These are the main nutrients, okay? They will ask this in the paper. Remember these nutrient name: phosphorus, phosphates, and nitrates. Okay, so excess nutrients forms algal growth. You know algae, green color like moss-like structures. Algae. Do you know the algae?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. So algal growth increase. So what happens? Algal growth. So that's why you can see green color. So in the ponds, you can see green color, the pond water surfaces like green color structure. That is the algal. So what happens when the algal growth increase? You can the water body, the aquatic life, the fishes inside the pond, the oxygen will be gone down. So the fishes will die. Fish, any aquatic life, the living organisms will die inside the water body. So this happens during, this process is called eutrophication. Okay. So during this process, algal growth will release the gas ammonia, which is basic. So this eutrophication caused the bad smell, right? Have you ever smelled a fish pond with the green structure? So this, so you can get a bad smell. That bad smell is caused by this NH3 gas. When you see ammonia, when you smell a ammonia gas, it will smell like a rotten egg, right? So that is the bad smell for this reason. So this is the whole process of eutrophication. Okay, so you can write it down here. These each point is asked in all the 5 papers. Okay. Up to 2020, like given in form 18, they have asked this point. So you can write it down like a flow chart. Okay, secondary pollutant that falls on soil and contribute to provide the main nutrient which is for plant growth. Secondary pollutant. Guess.
Nitrogen dioxide.
Secondary pollutant. You have, that is primary. Secondary pollutant. Hiruka? Guess from this. Your idea is correct. Guess, but guess. Select from this. Do you know? That is, okay, I'll say the answer. That is HNO3. So here the key word is plant growth. So you should know for plant growth, you need nitrogen. So nitrogen. So out of the secondary pollutants, which has nitrogen? Nitric acid. So you can directly write it. Got it?
Yes, miss.
Okay. I said you read the question properly. So you said the answer is NO2. Yeah, I think you may know this point. Plant growth need nitrogen. Therefore, you have selected this nitrogen oxide. But can you see the answer? The question is secondary pollutant. So if you have selected from this, you've found this answer HNO3. Okay. Okay, next is if the food mileage is shortened, the amount of gas pollutant reduced from this pollutant source is reduced. Okay, what is food mileage? Do you know? Do you have idea? Can you answer for this?
It's kind of distance.
Far, correct. You are correct. So food mileage means transportation of food. The distance of transportation of food. Distance of transportation of food. Got it. So they are asking it should be shortened. Therefore, the amount of gas pollutant released from this pollutant source. So they are asking the source that should be reduced. So can you guess? So
Vehicle.
these are sources. What? What is the answer?
Motor car.
Say again. Motor car. Yeah. Motor car also will come. You can answer motor car, passenger buses, marine vessels, and the aircrafts. But I say you, for safety, you can answer aircrafts and marine vessels. It will be the perfect answer, okay? So the reason is, like, imagine like this. So I said you food mileage means distance for the transportation of food. So whenever you're importing apples, right? Apples. You're importing from foreign countries and getting the Sri Lanka from like foreign countries like UK, USA. So from their flight or ships, they will import to Sri Lanka. But when you want to buy banana, so it is you can find in your garden or like in your home, near home market itself. So the distance is less. So to get an apple, you have the food mileage is high. To get the banana, to get the food mileage is less. So so the aircrafts and the ships will import food, right? So that you can write that as a answer for reduction of the food mileage. Got it?
Yes, miss.
Did you get my example?
Yes, miss.
Good. So your answer is also correct. Like that will be in the answer scheme. The answer is like you can select aircrafts, motor cars, passenger buses, or the ships. So So the perfect answer, you can write aircrafts and ships. It indicates the import and export of import of the fruits or import of the food from foreign countries to the mother country. Okay. So next, the mode of transport is selected. Your carbon footprint is reduced, minimized in an inland tour. Guess what is carbon footprint and say the answer for the seventh one. So this you should know.
Passenger bus.
Correct. Aircraft and ships, like, okay, you are correct. Passenger bus. The only one answer, passenger bus. So what we see what is the reason. So can you say the reason? What is carbon footprint? Wait, I'll explain. Carbon footprint means measure of carbon footprint means amount of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases released by human activity. Okay, measure of the amount of carbon dioxide, mainly carbon dioxide gases and other greenhouse gases. So other greenhouse gases include nitrogen oxide, then the carbon monoxide and all. So mainly carbon dioxide. So when you see, so imagine a situation like this. So you have 40 people. So 40 people can go in one bus. So when they select the 40 people individually, they want a car to go. Okay. So 40 people means they need a 40 cars. So they want to go individually means they need a 40 cars separately so that the fuel burnt is less. So 40 means per person it is less. But here 40 cars means it is high. The fuel burned. So carbon dioxide release is high. Carbon dioxide release is low. So we are using only one bus. Here we are using 40 cars. So that's why the answer is to minimize the footprint, we should select bus. Got it? So that is correct. So next question. Okay. Try this question. Read and do this question. I'll say the answers in a while. Okay. So B part, we're gonna go with the graph. Okay. In a polluted city, the atmospheric nitrogen dioxide composition was measured during a day. Okay. So now they're asking with the graph only, you're gonna answer. Okay. What is the maximum and the minimum NO2 composition existed on the relevant day? So this is the time, this is the composition. Okay, so they are asking the maximum. What is the maximum? Can you say what?
0.03.
Yeah. So here when you're writing, you should write with the unit. You don't forget to put the unit. Then that's why you lose marks, okay? What is the lowest?
0.01 ppm.
Okay. In which hour of the day the maximum number of recorded?
8.
Yeah, correct. According to the above graph, what is the answer for the third one?
Due to high traffic of
Yeah,
these.
correct. Correct. What is the answer for the fourth one? You can say morning is higher traffic than evening, okay?
Okay.
Name another primary gaseous pollutant which would indicate the variation. So you can say, what is the answer you wrote?
I wrote up to fourth one.
Okay, so here you can write either SO2, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. So whenever they ask vehicle related emissions, you can write these are the gases, additional NO2. Remember this. Okay, write it down. Okay. So Hiruka, done, right?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So I'll end up this session. In the next session, we'll do the remaining questions and we'll start the MCQs. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You may leave now.
Good evening, miss. Thank you.
Welcome. Rovino, you can also leave. Understood, right? Okay. Dhananjay, you can also leave now.